Weird science
is the revolution.
Hello, you weirdos. Jim here. And to me, my sound effect, it is breaking news. And it's X-Men breaking news. And if you haven't heard, which I think a lot of people would have heard by now, the 3 new X-Men books have been announced with creative teams. These will be coming out in the summer. As you go each month, July, August, September, we'll get a new book. We'll go into that in a second, but straight out of South by Southwest, Marvel announces 3 flagship X titles launching this summer. And we'll go through the official announcement here following the Karakoa age Jed MacKay and Ryan Stegman's X-Men. All right, that sounds pretty cool. A lot of people like that Jed MacKay and Ryan Stegman I really like, so we have that coming out in July. Right. Then we get in August, Gail, Simone, and David Marquez's Uncanny X-Men. That makes sense. The big talk was Gail, Simone, and David Marquez. They're doing that free comic book day, so that's cool. And a third book that I didn't see coming, L Ying and Carmen Canero's Exceptional X-Men, will be the core ongoing series in an all-new era of mutant storytelling. I'm not a huge fan of L Ying, but we'll put that aside for a second as we go through each of these books. And Marvel wants to know, or wants you to know, Karakoa is gone, but the X-Men remain always. They do. They really do. You got to get that X-Men money in, right? So we end up in, if you weren't aware, Tom Brevoort, who is now the X-Men editor, somebody asked him a while back, hey, how many books are going to be in the line? What's going on? He said, really, that's more of a business type deal. And we'll have as many books as we were having during the Karakoa age. So obviously more will be announced, but they are tiering these in a way. I think that's cool. You kind of get a book each month, a new book. So you can kind of jump on and ease in until they hit you with probably a tidal wave of titles, probably around the new year. But here we go. The first book, X-Men. Oh, that's a big one, right? That is going to come out July 10th. That's written by Jed MacKay, art by Ryan Stegman. And it says, Karakoa is no more, but the X-Men fight on. I would think they would. From their new base in Alaska, the X-Men raise a flag of defiance, join Cyclops, Beast, Magneto, Psylocke, Kid Omega, Temper, Magic, and Juggernaut as they assemble against new forces, battling for the destiny and philosophy of the mutant species. Mutant business is their business. But is business good? Does peace sell, but who's buying? Well, I like that Megadeth song, so maybe you can tie that in, right? But there you go. You end up with a crazy team there. Cyclops, Beast, Magneto, Psylocke, Kid Omega, Temper, Magic, and Juggernaut. Ooh, my, that seems like a powder keg. That does. But here's what Jed MacKay says about it. It's not just those 3 titles in this relaunch. There's a lot, he says, on the panel. All right. My X-Men title is where we'll see the first inklings of what the X-Men will look like in 2024. I'm very excited for you guys to see it when it comes out. If you look at that lineup, they're a group of people who are not well suited to integrating into the world. I said it was a powder keg. And in these books, we'll see what that means and what it looks like going forward. So in that first bit with Jed MacKay, you kind of realize they're not allowed to say that much. Like, yeah, you're going to announce the team. We get some Ryan Stegman art. Okay. But we'll have to wait and see what this is all about as we get to July and beyond, because he's basically saying, boy, that lineup, huh? We'll have to see it when it comes out. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Jed MacKay. But people do like Jed MacKay, and hopefully he can come up with some pretty cool villains, unlike a lot of the villains he has in his other deal. I don't need that nonsense. And pretty much I would say the villains will be humanity, as it is scared of them, they're mutants. But we'll see. We'll see as it goes on. The next book is Uncanny X-Men. That'll come out in August 7th. That's written by Gail, Simone. Art by David Marquez. Outlaw heroes. Once again, the X-Men embark on a new mission, it says. Here is what the write-up is in the team. Making themselves at home in the Big Easy, the X-Men protect a world that hates and fears them. Join Rogue, Gambit, Nightcrawler, Jubilee, and Wolverine on an explosive superhero adventures. Uncanny as ever, the X-Men are back to saving the day, mutant style. Pretty cool team. I like that team. I think that team-wise, I think I'm most excited about that. And whether or not people love Gail Simone, or it seems to be a lot of the social media stuff. I'm looking forward to this book. I'm looking forward to the X-Men book, too. So you have those two going, and here's what Gail says. I think X-Men fans are special in that we identify with having something different about us. And you're going to feel that in this book and what it means to have the thing about you that's different or exceptional. Whether it's like you can whistle pretty well or you pop claws. Everybody has something different. I don't like whistling. I end up that it drives me nuts whistling. We go deep into the emotional part of that, Simone told the crowd. Didn't say anything about whistling, by the way, but probably is for the better because I don't like it. David Marquez is the perfect artist for this book. She continues. He does amazing action, amazing character work, and he's really excited about getting into the characters appearing in this book. I knew from the very first panel that this book was going to be super exciting and gorgeous. He just knows how to knock it out of the park. I thought she was talking about me. Oftentimes, people will see me walking down the street. Oh, my God, he's so super exciting and gorgeous. Says no one ever, but it'd be kind of cool. I'd probably get embarrassed if somebody said that and go, who, me? And then put my finger to the side of my mouth. Me, you say? Super exciting and gorgeous. Oh, my goodness. Now we get to the third book. And yeah, if you're going to play the idea of, which one doesn't belong, I don't know. This book is weird. Exceptional X-Men. It's written by L Ewing and art by Carmen Canero. And anytime I see L Ewing on a book, I might avoid it. But also, I think, L Ewing, you mean the lady who's almost 40? Well, she talks to the kids, so it might be one of them teen books. Hey, the champion, that's what it is. I don't know why they can't get somebody a little, less old, is what I'm trying to say. I don't want to, age shame. She's younger than me, actually, but I'm not here saying I could write a book with the teens. But that's what she does. Mutant Kind's two greatest teachers mold the next generation of X-Men. Kate Pryde, still Kate, has returned home to Chicago, or as I like to call it, Chi-Town, following the war with Orcus, or as I like to call them, Orcus, having stepped away from the world of mutantdom. She is nevertheless called back into action as she crosses paths with a trio of new young mutants, Bronze, Exo, and Melee. Okay, who clearly need training and guidance. And maybe better names, right? Is that just me? Unfortunately for Kate, Emma Frost thinks so as well. Oh my, you mean she's going to end up messing up the training of Bronze or Melee? Who would have thought it? I mean, really? Who would have thought it? And here is the quote. And L Ewing, it's funny because you end up having Jed Mackay pretty big. He's doing the big X-Men book. A couple sentences. He's in and out. Hey, everybody, we're doing this. The team's kind of a powder keg. That's what I said. And I hope you like it. Then you get Gail Simone. Oh, my God, that Dave Marquez, pretty cool guy. Here's our team, in and out. Then you get L Ewing, who seems to want to write a phone book here with these quotes. Longtime fans of Kitty Pryde. I think her name's Kate. I mean, you better watch yourself. Can count on the kinds of adventures you'd expect from her as a classic favorite. That I don't know why that already sends up red flags. It's like, hey, what are your favorite Kitty Pryde? Oh, all of them. The classic ones. While I hope new and old readers alike will get to love this all-new team of young mutants. So, yeah, you have a young mutants because, she's almost 40. Ewing shared. Kitty, the one-time kid sister figure of the X-Men, has to reckon with her own memories, good and bad. Of being a child of Xavier, she navigates a role as leader and mentor for a new generation of mutants who are trying to make their way in a time of crisis. I always try to strike a chord between appealing to veteran comic fans and new readers. You might try. I'll give you that. But since so many people fell in love with the X-Men as teens, and this book is about a team of young folks, because, she's almost 40, that feels especially important to me here. I hope for some 13 or 14-year-old readers, this might be the first comic book they pick up. And all right. Working on this series has been a ton of fun already, as Carmen Canero's art is bringing so much dynamicisms to these pages, and the entire X team of writers is in a flurry. A flurry they are, sharing scripts and feedback and ideas. They are in such a flurry, you could turn them upside down. They don't fall out of the cup. It's that crazy. Kids, just imagine they're like, hey, you want to write a book about the teen? She's like, yeah, that would be awesome, dude. And they're like, well, Grody to the max. And she doesn't get it. The X-Men are fractured in the aftermath at the end of Karakoa, scattered across the globe without a central base of operations. Marvel Comics VP Executive Editor Tom Brevoort explained, probably wearing a really stupid hat. What that means in practice is that all 3 titles carrying the X-Men are core X-Men series. What he's saying there is, listen, I know that you probably think this exceptional X-Men won't last long, that it's probably like a mini-series and it'll kind of come in and out, but no, these are 3 core books, they are. So read them all, people. Says what that means in practice is that all 3 titles carrying the name X-Men are core X-Men series. They all center around one of the major aspects of what the team has been about at different points. This is very much by design. We want to field a wide assortment of X titles with different styles and tones and approaches. An X-Men book for virtually any taste. And it ends up being, and I'm a big fan of K-pop, if you don't know that, but you should probably. And I love the idea of just boy bands in general, but also, girl boy band, because you always have like that classic, like, ooh, that is for the studious kids who want to have that. Oh, that one's the bad boy. Ooh, that's the, yeah. And sometimes with K-pop, you get like 16 people in a group. So you get really into niche things like, oh, that's for the fans that like crocheting, but also play pickleball on the weekends, right? So you have that. That's what I think ends up happening with these X titles. You can end up having 16 titles, and the one is just for 3 people. It shows when the sales come out. So I don't know. I guess that of these, I guess people will buy all 3, and I like how they are, staggering the release there, so you can kind of get involved. It kind of does remind me a bit of how the Ultimate stuff is coming out right now. Maybe that's kind of the play that they saw how well that was doing, so you get going with that. But yeah, I'll be reading all of them until I'm not, but I'll give it a chance. And at least at this point, it looks like you got some pretty cool teams, Scholar. Really what my biggest problem and what I was really hoping coming out of Karakoa, I did not know what team would have Bronze, Axo, and Melee. I was really worried that we might lose out on them, but nope, they're an exceptional X-Men. They are. I don't want to talk too much crap, though. I should have talked a little more crap on the others, so it didn't seem as much. But I just, every time I read an L Ewing book, especially something that involves the teens, I just imagine that she's like, all right, I'm ready to read it. I'm ready to write it. Turns the hat around, turns the chair. She's going to talk down the teens, and it always seems cringy to me. So I hope that this is different. I hope she proves me wrong, but we'll see as we go forward. So I'd love to hear what everybody thinks of this. Are you excited still? Are you excited more? I think Jed Mackay will get people excited, and these teams are pretty cool, and now you can start get. I say a lot when people were telling me or asking me, hey, are you excited about the X-Men stuff coming down the line? And I didn't know anything about it, obviously, but even when you're like trying to guess, I wait for creative teams and go by that. And I like these enough. I like the first 2, but I'll give Exceptional X-Men. I shouldn't talk so much crap on Exceptional X-Men, but there are a lot of people out there that are waiting to find out what happened to Bronze, Axo, and Melee, those new teams. I can't wait. I hope that Emma Frost doesn't mess with them too much. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let me know what you all think of this, if this is something that you are excited about, because I'm excited about it. I'm somebody who doesn't have a real huge or long history of the X-Men. Krakoa stuff was the only stuff that I was getting as it came out. So I was excited about that at the beginning, and then I kind of tailed off. We know the game with Krakoa stuff, but I'm looking forward to this hitting, being fun, having everybody talk about it, all that. So let me know what you think. And with that, I will talk to you in the comments section, and I will talk to you also later.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.